Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Welcome into Wildcast Studios for the Halloween episode of the Wildcast podcast, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solution. Right now, they've got the Autumn Kitchen Suite Savings Event until tomorrow. Purchase any two qualifying Whirlpool kitchen or Maytag appliances, save $200. Purchase any three, save $300. 25 Halifax Street, 506-858-5111. As always, fan listeners, I am your host all the way from AFC Richmond, Adam Lasso, and I am joined here by the writer of Rocket Sports for the Hockey News, your favorite co-hoster and employee of Dick's Morning Wood Services, Mr. Dick Boucher. You survived the Halloween party, sir.
I did, yep.
Just barely?
It was...
How did your...
I can't drink like I used to.
No, you find that out, eh?
Once you get to a certain age, things start to go a little downhill.
You can drink like a 20-year-old until you drink with 20-year-olds?
Yeah. And I decided to attempt to drink like I was 20 years old on Friday night. For the most part, it went really well.
Right.
Until the kids who were at the party decided to jump on my back and start bouncing on my back.
When you say kids, you mean... like actual children?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a family affair.
Oh, okay.
So I had like 5 kids jumping on me. And as soon as that ended, I had a very vomiting.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I was absolutely shocked to see you at the game on Saturday against Quebec.
I was not in a very good condition. It was very hard. I still felt it. I even made it to Avery's swimming class at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Wow, that's even better.
It was quite the accomplishment.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I actually felt better at swimming than I did the entire hockey game.
Probably because the humidity from the swimming pool and everything was just cleaning out your pores and cleaning out your system.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you excited for your dad tax tonight?
Dad tax, it's the best.
Yeah,
I love dad tax. It's the best part about Halloween, and it's even the part where, oh look, we're walking, and you're just gonna take my hand and go right into the bag and pull out whatever I want.
She got a bag, or is she going with pillowcase?
Oh, old school pillowcase for sure.
Yeah, I said that we were shopping. We got the house all decorated, ready for kids. They even sent out a request to our family, or not our family, our neighborhood. Like, how many kids do you guys get? Because we don't live where there's homeless and meth now. It's more of a family environment, and people are like, oh, we get between 60 and 80, and then some answers were about 110 to 130. I'm like, holy crap. So instead of giving out like 8-9 pieces of candy per kid, it's gonna be 2. Got to be stingy. But we got the house all decorated, and then it snowed because why not? But have you heard I can't remember what it was now. It's like the something switch, and where the kids bring all the candy home and then they don't get the candy, they actually get a toy instead.
What?
Yeah, I saw it on TikTok and I can't remember what it was, and it left my brain as soon as it. And there was like trunk or treat where people just park their cars in a parking lot.
Oh yes,
for their candy.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
A lot of churches do trunk or treat.
Okay.
Yeah, that was there was a huge trunk or treat at the Coliseum a couple weekends ago. Which was weird because it was a couple weekends ago. No, I know of at least 5 churches that did a trunk or treat over the weekend, this past weekend.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I'm not sure if they're doing it this year because I don't live in the North End anymore, but Glad Tidings Church, if you go up towards the casino, it's the one right across from the Home Hardware, Magnetic Hill. They always have like a trail in the back of the church that you can follow, and there's different little things at each. There's like, let's say 5 or 6 stations, and you get treats at each station. And last year they given out bowls of chili and stuff to the parents. What? And yeah, it was pretty good. Again, I don't live that part of town but anymore, but it was a big hit last year. There was probably a good couple of hundred kids there when we stopped in, and there was like 6 stations, and you get treats at every station. And it felt like Avery didn't have much until we went there. and they were just into her bag, like at every little place. And
right. I remember one year we took Haley to, and of course this is Calgary where it's like -20, and by the time you get to Halloween, and it went to Chinook Center.
Yeah.
Had like a bunch, like the mall had, all the stores had obviously candy and stuff like that. It was one of the cooler events to do because the kids get to wear the costumes because they're not in snowsuits. But I was working today and people were like, "Oh, it's just too bad that it rained or it's full of snow for all those kids." Kidding me? I had costumes in XXL to get under my snowsuit. I survived. You probably did too.
Oh, those were the best days.
Yeah.
When Halloween was like -13.
Yeah.
And now it's
Not.
not -13. No, there should be a little bit of snow on the ground for the kids. Nice.
I'm trying to remember. There was a house. I think it's over on Charlotte Street or up in Drummond Street, I think.
Okay.
Hang on. That's the school. No, it's over off of Rosedale Avenue. It's right on the corner over by Valley View Park and in behind the Arnold H. McLeod School.
Okay, yeah.
And they've got a whole setup all done up, and you pay like tickets, and they you go through like a haunted area in the backyard, and they take all the proceeds for that, and they donate it to like kids' breakfasts at schools and stuff like that. So if you happen to listen to this and you want to get go down there, obviously that would be greatly appreciated for them, because we drove by it yesterday and I was like, someplace I'll never go.
Yeah.
Because I don't do haunted houses literally at all. Like, I decorate my house for Halloween and that's about it, and give out candy. So I'm excited to see how many kids we actually get, because a little bit of a nicer neighborhood. You'll be here tomorrow or today when people hear this. You come trick-or-treating or what?
I could probably fit it in.
All right.
Yeah, we're doing Royal Oaks.
Oh yeah.
That's where we're gonna do the old trick or treat.
Yes.
So
you're going for the big chocolate bars.
we're going
aren't
for the
you?
big. Oh,
Yeah.
we're going for the
yeah.
2-liter jugs of Orange Crush
Yeah.
and the full size chocolate bars.
Yeah. So just swing in, hit here, swing back out, and yeah. How many houses do you hit in town?
This will be the first year we do Royal Oaks, so we're probably last year we might have only went to.
It was a little colder last year.
It was
I think.
maybe 25 houses last year, but Royal Oaks is a lot more going on. So hoping for a big return on the dad tax.
You're not going to head to your old prison and trick or treat in through there.
No, I don't think we'll do that this year. Was
that a call for Dick's Morningwood service?
It was definitely a call for Dick's Morningwood service.
That was an appointment, was it? You'll get that after.
No, we'll if I can avoid that part of town for the rest of my life, I would.
Did you watch the outdoor game last night?
I watched the first period.
Yeah.
I also had no idea that McDavid was coming back. So that leads me to believe that the injury was fake.
Oh, my God.
And he was actually just channeling his inner WWE and probably needed some time off to film a movie or a commercial.
Or commercials.
And then shockingly makes an appearance a week later after supposedly supposed to be out week to week. So it was definitely a fake injury. And you heard it right here first. He's perfectly fine. He was off filming a movie or a TV commercial.
You're not alone with not knowing if he was going to show up, because I didn't know he was going to show up, and that's the whole reason we didn't do the bet.
I turned it on. I was like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, he didn't play the 2 games before. He was out all week, and I guess we'll see if he keeps playing. But, yeah, it's, again, big fan of the events over here. He wishes he was there. But a little annoyed that Nickelback only played like 2 songs in the second intermission. I was like, don't advertise them and then get stuck with Ron McLean talking to the 03 Oilers, and by the 03 Oilers from the first game, I mean George Larocque. Nothing against him, but it's like you got like all the players on there, and he just spends the whole time talking to George Larocque.
Yeah, the Calgary Flames. I didn't like their overalls. Wasn't a big fan of that. To me, it looked like the
little Brokeback Mountain vibe.
That too, or the Freedom Convoy trying to figure out the next thing to protest. You know, it's just had that look to it, and
the Oilers were fine. Like that's Edmonton. Like Stuart Skinner with he looked like he gets off the rig with that stash and in those coveralls and hard hats and stuff. But I thought it was cool I didn't like the Flames. I was like, what are you doing? And I guess it was Kadri's idea, but I thought it was cool as a one-off to do something different for both teams. Mm-hmm. I really felt bad for Pelche. Like,
yeah.
When he was walking out, Layla's just like, oh, it's too bad Peltz isn't there. I was like, oh, I forgot that he was supposed to be there. Aw.
You can tell what the team is missing him.
Yeah.
There's dick all for effort. I've never been so annoyed. Like it's as if they're playing for Celebrini or Yzerman at this point. Like they are in tank mode.
Yeah.
Like it's they need Pelche back in the lineup. Like people wouldn't believe. Like maybe I'm a homer. Maybe it's because I know the player and I know what he brings. But man, they're missing some energy.
They're missing something.
They're missing a lot of poop.
Yep.
They're missing it. And I know he's out for a while. And they could be in a tough spot by the time he gets back because there's not going to be much room to make up after Christmas.
No, and it's marquee NHL event, and both teams are 3-10 coming in, and it was a good event, and it was at least a little bit warmer than it was in 2003 when it was minus 30. Don't forget, as always, you can follow us on the social medias: Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, TikTok, Wildcast Podcast, and don't forget to like and subscribe here on the YouTube. We're so close to 200 subscribers. Click the bell. You'll find out whenever the post-game shows are. And, we just like the support. We're not doing news and notes from around the league. We got a quick question. I almost forgot that I had one of these. So we're kind of running into some depth issues, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But 2 months out to the depth issues being tested. So we're about 2 months out from the trade deadline. So we thought, why don't we like to talk about trades. We like to talk about picks and stuff like that. Start the rumors. We're not going to talk about what we think will be going out. We are going to pick a player that we want to acquire that will help us in the second half, obviously, and even into next year. So do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first. It was my idea.
All right. That is perfectly fine. I'm going to go get a right winger. He's an 05. We saw him here about 2 weeks ago. First round pick, 7th overall.
Okay.
From the Blainville Armada, Alexei Bork. I think
so. A first round pick.
Yeah.
7th overall. So you're probably
6'1", 180, good size, good speed.
Hasn't really necessarily lived up to
that 7th overall, but
so you're probably looking at a similar return as to what we paid for Collard.
Yep. And you're hoping to get a similar return that we've gotten on Collard so far. Mm-hmm. And I think just that little bit of experience. I mean, he's played 42, 57 games the past 2 years, respectively. Mm-hmm. Now, he's got 10 points in 15 games this year, 8 goals, 2 assists, so he's having a better year. The -8, that's more the team than him. But I think that's a decent right winger that we could put into the bottom 6.
Yeah, and add some size to the lineup. Yep. It's not like Blainville is going anywhere in the next few years, so they might as well try to get some assets to build for the future. And I think they'll get a pretty sizable return for Jonathan Fauchon as well. So you think you'll probably start seeing Blainville.
Yeah.
Sell off here at Christmas. For me,
before you go, do you think what do you think is the biggest? Actually, no. Give me your player, and then I'll ask you that.
Yeah, sure. So I'm actually going to stick within the Maritimes division. I'm going to stay close to home here in Moncton. I'm going to go for Luke Patterson from the Cape Breton Eagles, and I'll explain why. Believe it or not, I actually got
Drew Bear's head to go.
I actually got the name and the idea from Drew Bear.
No, you didn't.
I did.
What?
I did. Because looking at last year and being a Telus Cup champion and the season he had with the Flyers and the expectations in Cape Breton, you know how many points he has so far this year?
3.
0.
Oh.
Now that might have changed since last time I checked, but I'm pretty sure it didn't. So let me just fact check myself here before I say anything.
Luke Patterson, 4th round pick, 59th overall.
0 points.
0 points. Yeah.
0 points. After being about 0.3, had 0.3 points per game last season as a rookie. 0 points. Now, is that a result of the coaching change in Cape Breton? Is he not enjoying life under Louis Robitaille? So I think this could be a change of scenery, come home type of trade. Mm-hmm. The chemistry with Lounsbury is going to be there. Those two have played together for pretty much their entire lives until they went separate ways in the queue. Yeah. I think if we could somehow put these two together in the Wildcats lineup, it could do some pretty good things. And being a 4th round pick and maybe a change of scenery. Anytime there's a change of scenery needed, it doesn't exactly overvalue a player.
Right.
You're actually probably getting under. So I think you could probably pull this off for maybe give Cape Breton back a 4th round pick because that's what they paid to get him or used to get him. And I think that's fair. If you really want him, you can say okay, a 3rd. And you probably do a later round pick too. I think you can get this. I think you can get Luke Patterson to Moncton for a fairly reasonable price.
Yeah, he's playing 4th line right now in Cape Breton. Mm-hmm. So I think, I didn't think you were going there.
Yeah, no, I think it's the chemistry, for me, and he's a center, probably can play the left wing. Because Lounsbury's playing with Mueller
and Collard, the
Collard
MCL
right
line.
Yep.
And they are the only thing that scares me is the expectation to have him come in and play with Lounsbury right away. And I mean, 2 months before the trade deadline, you don't know what's going to happen to that line, but that line is going pretty good right now. And
it is, and I mean, you don't have to necessarily play him with Lounsbury. I mean, you could. There's probably going to be. Maybe a body moved out up front. Mm-hmm. That's just my hunch. I don't know who it would be. I just see this as an opportunity to go and get somebody local that you've probably got a pretty good
rapport
knowledge, knowledge and understanding of the player and the family. And if it happens, it might be a good time for. The Patterson family to get a new front license plate because there's only one black SUV that drives around the north end of Moncton with a Cape Breton Eagles front license plate. Yeah, and if I were to be a betting man, I'd probably say that was the Patterson's family, and it makes sense. I mean, it wouldn't cost much. It's not going to cost an Alexi Bork with nothing towards you or anything like that. It would be a simple.
These are both trades that they could get both players and kind of not fix the bottom 6, but revamp it going into next year. When it's not like we pick 2 trades that it's one or the other. You could get both of them if you wanted to.
If you wanted to, you could.
Interesting, we didn't pick a defenseman.
At this point, where do you put him?
You'd have to move a defenseman out to move a defenseman in.
You've got a defenseman who's, if he's lucky, gets to play warm up, and then, he could probably give us a solid review on the popcorn at the Avenir Center at this point. It's come to that point where if you want to see him on the ice, if you're there to watch him, you might as well go to warm up or go to the skate with the Cats because that's probably at this point the only time you're going to see him on the ice.
Yeah, they've stayed with 6. Barring injury, they've stayed with the same 6.
You've already had one go out to the BCHL. I don't think you want another one. But I also understand it's tough to find ice time at this point when your 6 are playing fine.
And we're one injury away, and we're not going to go and pick. We're not going to go and change the whole team because at some point sometimes changing trades or making more moves than you need to can sometimes wreck a dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first domino to fall in the trade deadline, do you think? Do you have an idea yet?
Like here or
No, in general.
in general?
In general.
I think it all depends on the Team Canada.
Yeah.
You know, your Tristan Luneau will eventually be sent back. He's still with Anaheim. And if the fact that he's still in the NHL is a pretty good indication he'll make Team Canada.
Yep.
Sam Savoie's injury could have, a pretty probably won't make it. Let's put it that way.
No.
But I think 20-year-olds can be traded any time. And I got to look at it, probably Michael Horth in Charlottetown.
That's a pretty good return you get for...
Some team's going to overpay for him.
He's 20, right?
He's a legit rental. He's going to be a 6-month player.
There's
at
a
the
team
most.
that needs an extra 20 that wouldn't mind, that enjoys goal scoring, right?
Yep.
They had pretty good success with it last year with 3 20-year-olds. So,
yep.
And they've got that spot for it, so it just seems to make sense, and you can kind of rebuild moving that. But I think it's one of the, it's got to be the 2 Gatineau players that kind of, I don't want to say set the market because they're completely different situations. Like Verreault is going to get a hefty return, whereas Savoie, based on the injury, the return might be a little less than or a lot more conditions moving into it.
Sam Savoie and Luneau will be your Bo Grew and Jared McIsaac.
Yeah.
It's like these guys were. Luneau was a first overall pick, and
Savoie was
third or fourth, maybe not. I forget. But
it's not Moncton, so you don't need to remember.
They're going to get similar returns, right? So it's
4th round pick.
Not Savoie, NHL 4th round pick. 4th overall.
4th overall, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4th overall. Yeah, because that was that year that they had 3 of the top 4 picks, right?
Yeah, something like that.
2020 draft.
Yeah. So that's kind of like where you're looking at right now. You're pretty much looking at Luneau and Savoie being similar to, I don't know, a Bo Grew and a Jared McIsaac.
Yeah.
And it's that sets the tone. But the Luneau trade, again, he's going to make Team Canada, so it won't be until January till we see that. But the rumors will be out there probably by, give it a month and a half.
Yeah. Whenever the Quebec media just feels like putting it out there.
Yeah.
Basically.
And the Monctonian's coming up in a couple of weeks, so that's when talks start to start, and they usually finish at the Quebec tournament there. That's in
the Gatorade Challenge. No,
not the Gatorade. What's in it's in Saguenay. Whatever it's called, CCM. No.
Q Cup.
Not the Q Cup. It's another tournament.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
2020 was Gatineau, Luneau, Verreault, Leighton Carruthers, and St. John, and then Sam Savoie. Evan Noss, Filion, Pierre-Olivier Waugh, Noah Warren.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good draft for Gatineau.
No,
that's how you rebuild real quick. All right. So now we hit the button. So now we're gonna actually get to some news and notes from around the queue. Coaching milestones this past week. Sherbrooke's victory over the Eagles. Gilles Bouchard recorded his 200th regular season win. And also, according to Stéphane Leroux, Eric Veilleux won his 400th game as the Remparts beat the Titan on Friday night, which he becomes the 12th coach in Q history to reach 400 wins. Central Scouting List came out Wednesday, so this is something you're going to want to follow for Moncton because we host the tournament. A for Moncton because of the players. B, we're going to have some good players coming through this tournament. Yeah. There's 36 of them from the queue that are named. So far, Gabe Smith, Keegan Warren are the 2 Wildcats on that list to represent. But, we were just kind of looking through this list coming in. Sam Dickinson from London, Tanner Howe from Regina, which I feel like he played last year in the Prospects game. But maybe he was part of Team Canada's stuff that I'm getting his name mixed up, but we were hoping Misa was coming. I thought Misa was playing, but I think he's next year. Maxime Massé, who's playing pretty well over in Chicoutimi. This is a game. If you don't have your tickets, and I think they're almost Bill's pretty much full. I think for this one, you're going to want to go to it.
Yeah, for sure. Which is kind of why we're hoping to get the media pass for it, and if that happens, great. If not, well, we're pretty much screwed. No, we're in for a good night of hockey. Yeah, and at this point, will we see a Wildcat participating? There's an opportunity. There's a chance, but it doesn't look very good. Nothing against Gabe Smith and Keegan Warren, but when I was looking at players from the Wildcats who could possibly participate in the prospects game, those two were probably the least likely I was going to think of. Keegan Warren could be a knee bug.
Yep.
He could be right here, and we need you to fill you in. You never know. Could be an injury. I will say that I believe the NHL Sleeper Central Scouting is sleeping on Alex Mercier.
Yeah.
Because he is a late birthday. He's eligible to be drafted. He's having a heck of a year. And talk about a player who works his tail off. Mm-hmm. Alex Mercier is really playing some spirited hockey right now, which is amazing to see. And to not have his name on that list was shocking, because of all names to be on the list, Jonas Tybell is also on the list as being a third-year eligible.
Whoops.
Jonas Tybell.
Nothing against him,
but yeah.
I like how I cannot find tickets to this thing.
Different. Not a name I was expecting to see on that list.
No.
Yeah, but no, they're sleeping on Alex Mercier. I don't know what they're missing. There's going to be a team that's going to like him and get him added to the list and make him a very happy man at the draft next summer.
Yeah, and I mean, to see Gabe was a little bit surprising, and I mean, he's most likely going to be making his debut this week because we're kind of running thin on forwards. He took the warm-up in the last game, so for him to get there, or him and Mercier, they're going to need some... Oh, yeah, this thing is pretty much...
Looks good.
Looks good. Come on, Ticketmaster.
Zoom in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks like almost a...
I mean, those are obviously not released yet.
No, those are the black seats up there.
Yeah. Those
but the black seats on the sides are released. So.
Yeah, so they will eventually be released.
Yeah, we got to make sure we get that email out real quick whenever that comes up. But yeah, I mean, do you got any other news?
I do, yes. So Lane Hinckley, who was a 2020 first-round pick, has announced his retirement. This kind of came out of nowhere. He posted it to Instagram, saying that Friday morning, which would have been last Friday morning, he was told that his hockey career is over. I'm going to quote this now. So, too many hits, too many punches, too many concussions that I didn't properly heal from. The doctor said my MRI showed there was a 25 millimeter by 17 millimeter lesion on my brain, as well as other scars that couldn't determine the size. They couldn't determine the size of. Currently, I'm at risk for CTE and early dementia. Hockey is a tough sport. Even though this is the end, it's not how I would like to be remembered by my peers and anyone who watched me play. And he goes on to thank his teammates and the teams that he played for. So, yeah, that's a tough break for someone that's not even 20 years old to have to call it a career in a sport that obviously he loves. And I remember John Moore doing a story on him when he was 12 years old. Wow. Playing up his age group because he was so highly regarded, and here we are 7 years later, and he's got to call it quits.
Yeah, it's tough because these are still kids, and obviously it wasn't the way he wanted to be done. But sometimes it's a little bit easier when it's the choice is taking out of your hands.
Yeah.
Medically, and we just hope that it kind of heals up and can play rec hockey and senior hockey and just because he's obviously a good player. He enjoys playing hockey, and just hopefully his life after hockey is obviously as good as it can be. Team of the week. Should have flipped that transition, but team of the week was announced. Forwards Marcus Vidicek from Halifax, 4 goals, 5 assists in 3 games. Justin Gill from Baie-Comeau, 2 goals, 5 assists, 3 games. Jordan Dumais, 3 goals, 5 assists, 3 games. Thomas Lavoie, the Eagles, 2 goals, 1 assist. Komarov, no goals, 4 assists in 3 games, basically in his maritime trip. And goaltender Nathan Dervaux of Victoriaville, 2-0-1, a .950 save percentage, and a 1.65 goals against average. Nathan Dervaux was your QMJHL Player of the Week. I felt good for Jonas or Julius and Lounsbury. I was like, yeah, good weeks. It's gonna be good. And then I looked at the forwards that were on the team of the week, and I was like, nope, not even close. Yeah, I mean, when the 2 guys in Halifax are putting up 8 and 9 points in 3 games, that's gonna be tough. But hey, we'll get there. We've already had 1. We'll have a few more on there.
We'll be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be square.
All right, let's get to the weekly rerun.
Weekly Rewind.
So the Wildcats go 3-0-0 over the weekend, bringing the record to 11-3-0-1, which is good enough for second in the conference and first in the Maritimes division. Which brings, speaking of Maritimes division, brings us back to last Wednesday, battle of the top 2 teams in the division. The Wildcats hang on to beat the Mooseheads 4-3. Character win. They held on. Everyone was excited, rightfully so. I'm tempering a little bit because Russo didn't play. He was a late scratch. But you can only play the guys that are on the ice and in the lineup. And full credit to Moncton because the Mooseheads still have a very good offensive team, and they had 46 shots. It wasn't like it was, all Moncton all game because Russo wasn't in net. I think Milner's his name? Did he let in a couple goals that maybe Russo would have stopped?
Milner.
Maybe. Would it have been a difference? Maybe. But that's not the Wildcats' fault that he wasn't playing, right? That's who you get. So, this one was quite the game coming down right into the last, 10 seconds. And, did you go to bed with a smile on your face like the Grinch?
Yes, I did. I was very happy with that.
Yeah.
I liked that effort. That was good. Very happy with that game. Anytime you can beat Halifax, it always feels good.
It does.
And I think I said last week, I was like, this is not a team that's only going to get 16 shots on goal. They're probably going to get 40 to 50.
Yeah.
And they got, what did you say, 46?
46 shots, yeah.
Yeah, so they Jacob Steinman stood on his head, played a really strong game. Did Milner let in any goals that Rousseau would have stopped? I don't know. They were...
I'm trying to think if he did, and
there was a few that... the Desnoyers goal would have went in against any goalie.
Yeah, Loshing would have.
Desnoyers scored, right? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He got the game winner.
Yeah.
Collard was... I forget that was a 2-on... Was it a 2-on-1?
I think so.
So to
Some
say
plus
that
2 breakaways, he might have got one of them.
To say that we caught a break with Russo being sick, I'd have to disagree. There was really no goals that were weak, but at the same time, I think you can tell that Halifax might need to do an upgrade on the old backup situation.
Yep,
and because that's. In a situation like that where your goalie goes down, you got to be out there and you got to have somebody that's going to be reliable and win you a game in the playoffs. And I just don't know if Jack Milner's that guy. And
not in this year. Maybe if he was there if it was last year, maybe, because we talked about it many times. Like with Moncton, these 2 points come back to haunt you or not, and these 2 points might not make any difference. We thought it was going to be a lot closer last year too, and Halifax just ended up running away with it if they get the right kind of players at the deadline. So, yeah, I don't think it was Milner in the fact that, maybe at some point Rousseau would have got, but I think it's more so the fact that Rousseau just kind of knows Moncton.
Yeah.
And how many times in the home opener in the playoffs, the Wildcats get down there and they get trying to get that greasy goal and in front of the net and there's a bunch of chaos and somehow Rousseau gets it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where I'm more thinking maybe they got a little bit lucky, but hey, you have to play the guys you're going to play and that are on the ice across you. And, Valdor's this trip coming up, Moncton's going to be missing 3 to 4 guys. So there's no excuses on that trip either. Congrats to Connor Trenholm, friend of the show. Been on twice on the podcast postgame. He had his 100th point in Halifax, thanks to his dad for tweeting that out so that we could put that in the show. And then they come home for 2. St. John, they get a 5-2 victory. And Quebec, they get a 5-2 victory, both back-to-back. Keegan Warren gets his first start at home. Very cool opening kind of ceremony with his dad dropping the puck. Kind of would have had both goalies in that. It kind of looked weird with a goalie and a captain, but hey, that it is what it is. But Lounsbury was the story of the night for this one for me. I mean, that guy, Stephane Paquette, set it up in the booth. Like, he has just taken his game to another level. And I said that coming out of the last preseason game that Lounsbury played when he got back from Edmonton, and to you in the Cape Breton, like, he is noticeably faster.
Oh, 100%. Like, he's playing some of the best hockey he's ever played probably in his life. I mean, I've never seen this side of Preston Lounsbury in any level. Ever since I think the first time I watched him was in, Timbits, but anyways.
Been scouting him since Timbits.
He hasn't played this well since Timbits. No, he's playing really well.
As a 5-year-old, you've gotten better.
He's playing really good. He's playing really good hockey, and he's got that chemistry with Mueller and Collard, and they're doing some damage right now. And that's I'm impressed. I mean, I get another player that's Miles Mueller is on another level right now.
Yeah,
he really wants to be on that Swiss World Junior team again, and I think he's pretty much he's got a spot because obviously he's returning player. He's got a spot, but man, he really wants to mix a bigger role on that team this year.
Yeah, and like I didn't brand him the MCL line. Ken Shea branded it, but we're stealing it. They have just been so good, and like Collard said after, like they had one practice together and somehow it just clicked, and it's literally because they have everything you need on the line: size, speed, and skill. Yep. And I looked for Mueller to have a big year last year, and maybe I was 1 year early. Helps when your mom is a champion weightlifter to get in the gym, lifting weights that don't put on the muscle to make you slower. But the thing that I've noticed about Mueller is last year he would make the play where he'd go around and around and around. He'd try to find the spot, and he'd try to make the one pass just a minute too late. Mm-hmm. But he's just going to the net now, and that line, I mean, that's your number one line going into the week for me. And because of that, the 5-2 victory over the Ramparts, and the victory was awesome. Gives them 6 straight as they get head out into the road trip, but
came at a loss.
Loshing took a tough hit. Couldn't move his extremity on his upper body. He went right down the tunnel. Moran left the game as well. Neither returned, so you've got Carrier, Denway, more than Kevin Barrett said he's not going on the trip, which makes a ton of sense in his article. I believe Moran will make the trip, probably play with a cage, but that's a big loss. And like I said I tweeted it just before the power play. Like, who's going to step up on the power play? Well, some steps up and puts 2 in the net on one on the power play, gets the energy juice. Like, it was 2-1 Quebec, and I think that goal on the power play from some kind of turned things around.
Yeah, you kind of get a sense that
if you remember it from being.
Oh, I was there. I was there. I wasn't.
Your eyes were open.
There. No, I think you kind of had the sense that they wanted to win this game for Loshing and Murat, and they really piled it on. in that second half of the game. And to me, they kind of more or less dominated right after that goal. It was all Moncton, and no, they are with this trip, their depth is really going to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
They got made a call up here with Cooper Cormier from Amherst, and we'll see where he can fit into the lineup and see what he can do. But no, the efforts all weekend were there. The whole conversations that we had a couple weeks ago about, is a change? Is it time for a change? Blah 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 blah. Well, here we are, more or less. We were first in the Maritimes division. We wanted the coach gone, and here we are first in the Maritimes division, and
the seat's cooled a little bit.
Yeah, and it's the efforts have been there.
Yeah.
They've won some games. They put that Drummondville effort behind them, and got back to the Wildcats way that you've been mentioning in the interviews, and
to a man, that's what Trenholm said, Lounsbury said, Collard said. Like they are getting back to tracking the pucks. They're getting back to transition, and then that's part of the preview. Is I literally had it in here. I mean, winners of 6 in a row. We're going to be obviously undermanned a little bit, but I got a few messages saying that aged like milk, and I said, yep, it did. They won 6 in a row. They got back to the way they can play. And yes, they are playing teams they should beat minus Halifax, but they came out against Halifax and played the way they needed to play and got the 2 points. And I think the seat is cooled. And I'll be the first to admit it. And it's why we probably haven't had Coach Dan Lacroix on the podcast postgame yet, because I don't know if I have the gall to ask Trevor Georgie, but I don't know if I have the gall to ask Dan Lacroix yet to get his thoughts on the games, just as of yet. But, you look at the lineup now, and I was thinking of this last night before I went to bed in terms of what the lineup is going to look like. And the MCL line, that's your top line. I put them right up number 1. Mueller got some time with Denouillet and Mercier, and he looked good, but you can't split up that line. That is the best line going for the Cats right now. You move up Sump. You have Denouillet and Mercier on his wings. Trenholm, Smith, and Auger on that third line. And then the fourth line is Cooper Cormier, Sampson. And even if you want to put Cooper Cormier up and drop Trenholm down on that fourth line, but I think your top 6 has to be Lounsbury, Clark, Mueller as the top line, Denouillet, Sump, and Mercier.
Yeah, hard to disagree. That's probably exactly how you'll see these lines.
I don't think you can have a Sampson, Delorier, Cooper Cormier line, or that's a lot of young on that fourth line, right?
Well, I mean, if you look at it, the majority of the fourth lines in the league are young. I wouldn't be against it.
No.
But I mean, you brought up Desnoyers, he's gone, right?
Oh crap, that is right.
And Carrier's gone, so there's these are going to be.
Should have wrote this down last night.
There's going to be some interesting lineups here. You could probably do.
I got it. It was the MCL line 1.
Mm-hmm.
It was Sump, Mercier, Auger as the second line.
Okay.
And then it was Trenholm, Gabe Smith, and Cooper Cormier.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Delorier, Sampson, and Glass. Because Sampson and Glass, Delorier, they've played together in different spurts.
I would put Gabe Smith up with Sump and Mercier.
At the end of the road trip? Yeah. His first game, I'd see I was...
Who cares?
We're not going to... What we want and what they do, 2 totally different things. Yeah. But there's going to be some different line combos, and I think the only line that stays together is the MCL line.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah. There's no sense breaking them up right now because they're doing some damage.
Yeah. So Valdor, Ren. I mean, Valdor's 2-7 in their past 5. I think they've kind of come down to earth a little bit. 2-7 in the last 10. Ren Aranda, that's going to be. I mean, we're going to see them twice in the month. And then Gatineau, I guess you kind of expect minimum 4 to 6 points.
You would hope so. Yeah. The Valdor game, we should be able to, even though we're lacking some three forwards for sure, the top two lines should still be able to dominate their top two lines, and it's, I guess at that point it's up to the bottom six, and our D pairings are. I give us the advantage of also. I would also give us the advantage in nets as well. So, we've seen that Val-d'Or, they don't take a shift off, so you can't really. And we saw that here. They're not a team that's going to quit. They're young and they want to play 60 minutes every night. So you just have to make sure that your effort's there and convert your chances. I mean, I know it's cliche there, but it's these are the long road trips. These are the 24-hour road trips.
Yeah,
you're far away from home. You just have to adapt and make good on your chances.
Yep, and I think the game in Rennes, I mean, it's going to be one of those like Steinman stand on his head nights, because when you look at it on paper, like we are playing really well, but when you look at it on paper with who we're missing, it feels like it could be one of those with what Rennes can do. And I mean, they're just like us; they're 8-3 and 1, and then Gatineau. I mean, again, another winnable game. But I'm excited. As excited as I was for the Halifax one, I think I am as well with the Rennes just to see how this team plays. And I think as much as they've got back to transition that each player's talked about and whatnot, we praised Dan a couple of years ago on the guys that were called up and the guys that were inserted in the lineup. They knew their role, they played it well, they knew the system, and that's kind of what you're looking for in this one is how do you bring the guys along without 3 skilled players, so how do you grit this road trip out?
I'll say it right now. Put me down for a Cooper Cormier goal.
Nice.
I think it's. Yep. I think it happens. It's any other time we've called up a player from, like Deloria last year. He was playing midget. He scored, and Cooper Cormier is having a really good year. He's playing top lines in Amherst. So put me down for a goal.
All right.
I'll eat it if it doesn't happen, but. I like his. I like the chance of this happening.
Yeah, and he's playing pretty well in Amherst right now. So, just one other stat that people have asked me about the podcast post game. They've asked me how many points guys have gotten, and I'm not going to go through all of them. But in the 11 interviews, because we had Keegan Warren, who obviously can't score points, but he didn't. I mean, he technically can, but whatever. 6 goals, 4 assists, 10 points. So. We had a pretty good streak of 5 straight interviews. The guy on the interview got a goal or an assist. Then we kind of went 0 for a bit, but Trenholm picked us back up with a goal and assist against Quebec there. So, yeah, again, the Wildcats being very gracious with their time, and the players are having fun. A little surprised on Vincent Collard going Jolly Rancher. Here's Candy.
That was debatable.
Yeah.
Goddamn Jolly Ranchers bite one of those too damn hard. You're going to the dentist.
Yeah, I like the Kit Kat, but Jolly Rancher's like, ooh, okay. That's
even Kit Kat's a little questionable.
Really?
Not a big Kit Kat guy.
No. At least none of them said candy corn, thank God.
As we record this on October 30th, it's National Candy Corn Day.
Sorry. That's so disgusting.
That was me at the party Friday night.
Huh? All right, you ready for everyone's favorite part of the show?
Yeah, hold on. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Eric Murray, realtor, buy our house from him. Stick tap of the week.
So not only did I have to survive a swimming class on Saturday, I also had to survive Boo at the Zoo.
Oh, you did this last year.
Yes, I did, and it's coming back again for another stick tap because it's unbelievable. I am scared very easily. So there are 3 rankings. There's not scary, there's somewhat scary, and very scary. I stayed away from the very scary. But no, this place was packed. Like I had to park at Magic Mountain to get into the zoo. And the kids were having a great time. They're dressed up in their little costumes, and the lions were having fun. You could hear them, and they were loving it. Azara and Azizi were doing the dirty, and
Making a Simba?
yeah, they were No, honestly though, the zoo is really cool. It's a hit every year. It's almost like one of those things. It's something you've got to go to because by the time the wild lights comes around, it's dark at 5 o'clock, so you can't even see the animals, and the animals are gone. And like the animals were actually extremely close to the. I mean, as to the tiger was like walking around and like.
Oh. That probably just scared some people.
Pissed off tiger, you know, and
if you're walking around like that, he probably thought you were the Tiger King.
I'm never gonna financially recover from this. No, the tiger was there. Like the panthers were right by the gates there. The panther was like rolling around in his own shit and like playing with a pumpkin, and I had a great time. And Wild Lights are coming up in December, which is always one of those can't miss events too. I know it's a little repetitive from last year, but I had to give the Magnetic Hill Zoo a bit of a shout out. Other than that, went to Sports Rock for some pre-game food on Saturday.
And?
I had the bacon double cheeseburger poutine.
Oh,
so it's like a cheeseburger, but poutine.
Yeah. Lenny's has that.
This, I swear to God, it looked like vomit. But it tasted pretty good. Mountain
wow.
Food, and probably like 2 pounds of gravy on top of this thing, and it's like two beef patties like chopped up with like pickles, and the pickles on a poutine was actually pretty good. I liked it. But being hungover was quite good. Very good food.
Yeah, that does. Lenny's has one of those too, and it's actually it doesn't look appealing, but it tastes very good.
Can I get my Avery joke in this point too?
Yes.
So obviously we lost Matthew Perry over the weekend. And you know, I think obviously Friends was a part of my childhood.
Yeah, that's where I learned to be sarcastic.
A lot of people's childhoods.
Yeah. It's the ultimate comfort show.
Yeah.
Like, when you're working, when you're doing something, when you're cleaning, whatever, you just flip it on and it's just always there.
And that's what it. And so my daughter, she turns 8 on Saturday, and so I've got to find it here because at the same point I laughed because it's an 8-year-old telling a joke that's really good.
Yeah.
So Megan shows Avery a picture of Matthew Perry, and Megan says, "Oh, he died last night." And Avery says, "Well, he wouldn't have died if his friends were there." And I'm just...
You're stunned.
What? What did you just say?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's sad, but...
That's a good joke. Yeah. And you know what?
Solid.
The character that he played, he would have made that kind of joke.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, that is good.
I just think it's ironic how last week on the show, I made the reference of pivoting with the blow-up doll.
Yep.
And then...
Did that survive?
I turned it into a dummy.
Yeah.
So now it's a dummy wearing a flannel shirt with a pair of jeans and a bag over her head, and her hands are duct taped together.
Yeah. But it survived?
Oh, yeah. It's
nice.
going to make it.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the RE/MAX Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
I want to give an honorable stick tap to the Wildcats for finally, after 3 years of me begging, asking, tweeting, Instagramming, showing videos, they finally showed the walkout. Not the whole walkout, but they showed the walkout from most of the players all the way out on the ice. It was chef's kiss. It was mint. That is the standard on October 10th in Charlottetown, and from here on out, I was so, you can hear me screaming in the video. They showed the walkout. It just makes that look so much better than a black screen. But that brings us to the Wildcast Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary Lynn Massage and Spa. Right now, buy one spa service, get 40% off from now until November 20th. To book that, and they have the loyalty card. So when you book that, you also get a stamp on your loyalty card. Hit them up at 1224 Mountain Road or 506-830-1224. Restrictions do apply. Both services must be booked at the same time. Massage not included. Promotion may be discontinued at any time. Management reserves all rights.
Got it in.
Got it in. I mean, this is a player that found his groove in the month of October, especially this past week. He had 2 multi-goal games in the 3. He's averaging a point a game in the month of October. He had back-to-back breakaway goals in Halifax. It just kind of got the team going as well. Got the team really going in that Quebec game after the power play had lost Moran and Loshing. I mean, what more can you say? When we talked to him, he talked about finding his game and getting adjusted. I think he's kind of gotten adjusted. Your Wildcast Wildcat of the Week is number 26, Sump Pump. Julius Sumpf. That'll do it for this episode presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions. They've got the KitchenAid. Come on, Internet. We had a power outage, so that's why we're powering through. KitchenAid Cook Up the Savings event till tomorrow. Multiple purchasable savings of 3 KitchenAid major kitchen appliances. $300, 4 for $400, 5 for $500. Don't forget the Wildcats are on the road this week, Wednesday and Thursday. The games are at 8 p.m. our time. And then they got Gatineau on Saturday at 5 o'clock our time. Oh. Yeah. There will be no post-game shows Wednesday and Thursday, but maybe I might do a post-game recap on Saturday evening if you want to join on YouTube.
So we're saying a little 8 o'clock?
No, 5 o'clock. It'd probably be about 8 o'clock by the time Gatineau game's done.
Maybe I'll fit it in. Maybe I'll fit it in.
Maybe you'll see Jeremy now on the YouTube. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell.
Is that the Flyers game?
No, crap. Never mind. I'm going to be doing the Flyers game. So go watch the Flyers game, and I'll be doing the color for that one as well with Mike Sanderson. For Jeremy, I'm Adam. See you next week.
My name's Dick.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast Podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.